So strictly for the protection of the federal personnel and the protection of the federal building, they're allowed to temporarily detain and wait for law enforcement to come and arrest them. They do not do any arrest. They're strictly there to detain, to wait for law enforcement to come and handle those demonstrators.
When they go,
what the difference between what the Marines and what the National Guard will be doing?
They will be doing the same operations.
when they go on these raids, are the troops armed with ammo and their weapons, or only on their person?
Only on their person.
Major, and excuse the question, but we were interviewing people on the street and somebody, asked, the Marines are coming, what do you think of that? And a person on the street said, aren't the Marines at sea, aren't they specialized in, sea-worthy operations? Why not the Army? Why Marines?
Actually, all federal military personnel, it is part of their mission. So in this case, it was what was closest and what could be used at the time.
Can you give us a little more detail about, you said there's 4,700. How many are already here? Have you identified these additional National Guard troops? I think there's 2,000. When are they arriving? And when and where are the Marines going?
Okay, so there are 2,000 on duty right now that are actually ready to perform operations and performing operations. There are additional 2,000 that are mobilizing right now. They're mustering is the term, and preparing. They'll be ready tomorrow at approximately 1,500 to be ready to come and start their training to get their personnel in, because they are National Guard. They are reserve component. And then the Marines are here at Naval Weapons Station, Seal Beach.
When will we expect to see Marines on the streets in Los Angeles?
I can't give you exactly when that will be, but soon. They're doing their training right now. It is not. We train for a federal mission for warfight, so they're right now going through civil disturbance training and the standing rules of force training.
Tell us a bit about the rules of engagement.
Well, so really for rules of engagement, we are strictly here to protect federal facilities and to protect federal agencies and their personnel and allow them to do their job. We are strictly there to help them do their job and to protect them.
What happens if there's a use of force or a shooting? Who investigates that?
That will be law enforcement.
I know you can't say when the Marines will be on the street. Is it safe to say they won't be on the streets today?
They will not be on the streets today.
At what point does military aid stop? When protests slow, or if ICE feels satisfied with their raids?
It's strictly to the officer, to the agent in charge when they're doing the operations. They do that, so we have worked out coordination with them. We meet, we do rehearsals, we totally understand their operation, conduct the operation, and then we leave.
Is there a plan in place to call in even more? Because originally it started with the first 2,000 National Guard. Now there's 2,000 more coming.
Ma'am, I do not know.
A question on, and I think it's a follow-up from Carly's question. So right now, is there a date where for sure Task Force 51 will still be enacted till, or is it a day-by-day situation?
It's a day-by-day situation. We've been ordered to temporarily protect both buildings and federal personnel.
And there's a suit by the state of California that I'm sure you're aware with, where the Attorney General is saying the Marines should only be deployed under this law from the 1800s that says, only civilian police can police civilians. So he's trying to get the Marines out. Your response to that?
That is, they're working it. It's beyond my scope. I'm here to run operations. They are currently been ordered to come and support this operation, so that's what I'm doing right now.
And where are the 700 Marines from? I know mainly the Guard members are like 95% from California. Where did these Marines come from? Is it the 29 Palms folks?
They did. They come from the 29 Palms.
Can you specify where exactly these resources will be used? Is it just City of Los Angeles? Like, how far is the range?
Currently, just City of Los Angeles.
How many hours of training do they get for civil unrest?
Civil unrest, it's pretty much a 2-day set training. So it's very extensive. It is all about civil disturbance, how to control crowds and protection of facilities.
And you said the Marines will only be used in the city of Los Angeles.
just depending on where the federal agencies will need to have them be used.
Okay, so we could see them in other places.
Yes.
Do you foresee, I mean, can you give us some sense? It sounds like they're protecting federal property, they're also protecting federal officers who are doing immigration enforcement. How many of the troops are being used for one versus the other? Like, how much of this operation is devoted to one task versus the other?
It depends on the operations. Their operations depend on the day and what they're doing. We're prepared to provide up to, right now, currently, we can provide up to 2,000 soldiers to do the missions that they need.
With this training that's 2 days long, local law enforcement goes through multiple months of training for things like this. Can you talk about how prepared troops on both sides are going to be should they are needed to step in?
Well, we go through extensive training to do this. They are trained to use their weapons, to actually have their weapons, to do their personal protection. They're doing that. But this is crowd control. This is stuff that we do not do usually. And this is working with federal law enforcement and really working. They're in the lead. We're supporting them. It's really about protecting federal facilities and federal personnel as they do their job.
And in your career, have you ever had National Guard members, had members of our own military responding to civil unrest on American soil, or is this a first for you and your colleagues?
It is not. I am a guardsman on active duty. I have done this in other riot situations, not in Title 10, but in Title 32 status. Yes.
Last question.
I just wanted to ask
Last
about
question.
the ammunition that the Marines will they have large ammunition in their rifles?
Not in their rifle. No.
Okay, thanks very much.
Really, can you just